Tidy, packing up. Nearly got all our stuff that was a bit damp last night, and look at the mist. Sleeping bags were a bit damp, so I'll have to air them out a bit later. Coffee's on, well, kettle's on. And we're trying to pack all our stuff back into the backpacks. Catch you later.
Morning. It's not a good one. I dropped my cup of tea without having had a single sip of it, because I was trying to pick up some rubbish at the same time. So I'm not having a good morning at all. We don't really have enough water to make a second one, nor do we have the time really, because, you know, we need to get going. I'm in a sulky mood. Well, it looks like the morning mists in Oregon are a bit more persistent. Yep, that's right. That is still mist.
Oh yeah, wow. It looks like it's a lake.
Yeah, I thought, oh, that's very deep thingy.
It's got a bit of internet, but not good enough to see who Everton bought.
Yes, so that is a priority when you're hiking the PCT.
Yeah.
To keep up with the transfer news of your local football/soccer team. We just had breakfast with some unexpected trail magic at the top of the hill. And yeah, this is Oregon. It's a little bit greener than North California.
What bit?
Oh. Oregon. Greener than Northern California, I'd say, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Very green.
Yeah. Very pretty. The trails are mercifully rock-free. So far, yeah. It's alright. It's not flat. Every bit as hilly as Northern California, but you know, kind of everything. We're kind of taking it easy today because we only want to get to Callahan's tonight, which is in another 10 miles or so, because that's where can't speak anymore. Sorry, that's where Jay and Patsy are going off trail. They're section hiking only, so that was always their plan to get that far. So we said we'd meet them there for a couple of drinks, because they were extremely nice company to be hiking with these last few, well, on and off weeks now. So there's no point in rushing, you know, there's no prizes for getting there earlier. We were going to go into Ashland to do to sort out some post office stuff, but we're not going to make it there before the post office closes anyway, realistically, so that's for tomorrow. Flower Paradise. Ooh, this is new. Actually, they're all a bit different. Not in Kansas anymore. And we're off again. We had a little water and shade break there in this interesting complex built right by the PCT. We're about 4 miles now from the turnoff to Callahan's Lodge. And it's still only lunchtime, so you know, we're really taking our sweet time. Because we frankly don't know what we're going to do when we get there. The camping at Callahan's Lodge seems very, very expensive. I mean, even for us, and we're not, you know, too fussy normally. But, so we probably won't stay there. But we don't know what else to do. We'll have to have a look on the way in whether there's spots anywhere. So we think we might have found these subtly signposted turn off to Callahan's Lodge. There's actually a proper sign in the tree. But yeah, they sure don't want you to miss that particular turnoff. So the trail kind of spits you out on that side of the railway track with no further clue. There's a note in Gathook saying don't go down the gravel track, which is up there, so we're guessing it's this one, but That's it. Callahan's Lodge. See whether we can find the others. Callahan's Hours, okay. Hello, there they are.
Yeah, the beers. The beers in.
Bees?
Beers.
The beers. What else would he be asking for?
You didn't want to do it yet. You wanted to wait for our buddies.
Thank
Our
you.
Liverpool buddies.
So we decided to stay at Callahan's because it turns out they're charging per tent, not per person. So the $14 rate is actually, for us, works out very reasonably. And this is the area in which you can tent. Absolutely beautiful. It's right underneath the veranda. And Bright Angel and Kaibab are just in there, in one of those rooms there. Oh, Brian. Brian's already stealing chairs again.
I need a seat.
This is nice. Lovely little waterfall. Nightly visitor. Little one at the back there. Just stood in the middle of the lawn, eating. We set off from our hardcore campsite and started what was a relatively simple day. We knew we were only going to do 17 miles today to Callahan's, because this is where we say goodbye to Jay and Patsy, whose section ends here. So we just kind of leapfrogged each other all day. We would stop at one water source, they would stop at the next, and we kept catching up with each other. And it was, it's not too difficult a day really, but for some reason there were an absolute ton of day hikers out, walking the dogs, just going for a little trip or whatever. It's a kind of a weird section because you are following roads all the time, and with following I mean literally. I mean, this is the road here, this is the PCT. Oh, they look at each other, then they follow, then the entire section you're just following roads all day long. And one of the day hikers we met said, yeah, no, not many. They know of quite a few PCT hikers, or they meet quite a few PCT. They just skip that section. They get a lift on one of those roads and go all the way into Ashland from there, not to be returned. And it's not spectacular walking, but it was very, very pretty meadows and everything. And we do enjoy chatting to day hikers, so we quite enjoyed our little sojourn on this. We we filled up with water at this extraordinary new complex. It's not on the maps. The guy basically bought a plot of land that had the PCT running through it, built a massive house and garage and everything on it. So the PCT has been slightly rerouted around his property, and he's provided a water faucet and a picnic table. And we sat down there. We decided not to have lunch, which was absolutely stupid. Just because we thought, at this point we were 4 miles from Callahan, so we were somewhere just off here actually. So we thought, we're going to be in Callahan in 2 hours. So Brian and I just topped up with water, sat around for a bit, got up, started walking, and didn't get anywhere because we felt so weak. So yeah, skipping meals is not a good idea. So we kind of stopped after about a mile again to have a snack, and then picked up our pace for what was a surprisingly frustrating last 4 miles into Callahan, mainly because it's heavily undulating, so there's an awful lot of pointless going up and going down. Again, you're constantly following a road that you might as well be walking on for the distance there is. But the worst thing is we had, as per usual, Gutux wasn't going to tell us where we were. And so all we had was half miles points, which is, oh yeah, there's a power line here. And by the time you reach the power line, you can then deduct where your spur to Callahan's is coming off. 0.8 or something later. However, we crossed the power line, we're like, oh gosh, so we're nearly there. As we're talking, we're crossing a second power line. We were like, oh, okay, maybe it was that power line he's talking about. Then, sort of half a mile later, there was a third power. I mean, in this little section, we must have crossed about 5 or 6 power lines. Gutux was also telling us, oh, there's a stream somewhere. We also crossed about 2 or 3 small creeks. So at no point, despite the fact that we had 2 things to look out for, did we know where the heck we were. But the turn of to Callahan's actually proved to be quite straightforward.
Bit scramble as well.
But, yeah. Comments from the left.
Comments from
the
right.
The turn off was easily marked, but the path is ugly.